just joining us here, the 18-year-old Timothy George Simpkins, who is charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, just came out of jail here, and we are...
All right, guys, so as you can see there, that is the Arlington school shooter being released on a $75,000 bond just one day after open firing in a classroom, shooting multiple people, including students and a teacher, after getting in a fight with another student. Now, guys, I don't know about you, but I have never seen anything like this in my life, right? In which you have somebody that literally just shot up a school and he's being released the next day on a $75,000 bond. It does not make sense. The guy is 18. The kid is 18. He's an adult. This makes no sense whatsoever. And they say that some other people in our society have privilege. If this ain't privilege, I don't know what is. What is happening to our criminal justice system is criminal, right? Like really criminal. Now, some of you guys may or may not have heard about this school shooting because the media, for whatever reason, decided to stop covering it after the suspect was identified. Put this on the list of things that I hate that is politicized in our society, right? Up there with vaccines and masks. I hate the politicization of school shooters, right? Or mass shootings in general, okay? Because during this whole time when this was happening yesterday, you had a whole bunch of people on Twitter, mainly woke liberals, talking about how it's a white person, right? Saying that, oh, because the shooter got arrested or wasn't killed on the spot by police, it must have been a white person, right? Again, it's a shame that during a time like that, you're not thinking about those people who were shot, who may have lost their lives. You know, you're not thinking about those poor students and staff and administration that's going through this. You're thinking about race. What's this, a white person, so that you can push your race narrative when it comes to mass shooting. That's what the left was trying to do. But lo and behold, when they found out that it was a black man with dreads, for whatever reason, they went silent, right? They went silent, okay? And I'm not just talking about the woke revolutionaries on Twitter. The media also went silent. They went on about their business, okay? As usual when it comes to these things. And guys, this to me is a disturbing pattern. And this is one of the reasons why I want to talk about this, because I'm seeing this happen too much. And again, it's really kind of crazy. You remember the first major mass shooting we had this year, or one of the most prominent ones, was the one that involved the Asian massage parlors back earlier this year in Atlanta. Because that was a white person, they was talking about that for at least a couple weeks. And the narrative was we have crazy white people out here committing mass shootings. And then what happened after that is that we had a series of events that didn't fit the narrative that mysteriously disappeared. You guys remember the guy that rammed into one of the Capitol police officers in DC? You probably don't, because again, the media didn't cover it that much. That dude was black. Crickets. But at the time when it was happening, there was speculation about, oh, is this another attack on the Capitol? That's what they were speculating about. You guys remember the Colorado shooting? Everybody thought, oh, this is a white man. Turns out it's an Arab. You had some people like Tariq Nasheed do some crazy gymnastics and try to say, well, we was right because technically Arabs are Caucasians. It still was a white man that committed it, right? That's how desperate they are to prove this narrative. And then lo and behold, we have this one. And this goes the exact same way as the other ones, where there's speculation, there's excitement at first, and then all of a sudden, when the shooter or the suspect is not the race that the left wants, it's crickets, okay? And because of that, we don't even have conversations about why is it that this person who shot up a school is being released the next day on a $75,000 bond. But there's a whole lot of questions in regards to this story that I really want to get into. So let's read here. The teenage gunman who opened fire in an Arlington, Texas school on Wednesday has been released on bond, a day after pulling a gun from his backpack and shooting a bully, a teacher, and one other girl. Timothy George Simpkins was being held on a $75,000 bond on 3 charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, but the 18-year-old walked out of Tarrant County Jail on Thursday afternoon. A bail bondsman met the bail terms on Thursday, posting at least some of the full amount, and he walked free. Simpkins said nothing as he strolled out of the jail in a blue t-shirt, matching baseball cap worn backwards, and jeans. It's unclear why he has been charged with aggravated assault and not attempted murder or more serious charges, or why the judge granted him bail. Again, I got questions about all of that, right? Because as I've explained to you guys multiple times, I'm all for examining bail reform when it comes to non-violent drug offenders, people who have not proven to be violent. However, people who have proven to be violent, those people who have, shot up classrooms, brought guns to school, shot students, people like that, okay, who may be an imminent threat to society, I think it's better to not handle those people with kid gloves. I think that we should have some more strict rules around how we let these people back into society before they go to trial. But that's just me. That's just me. The sister of the teacher who was wounded was disgusted by his release. She tweeted a video of him walking out of the jail and said, "How does this keep managing to get worse?" Simpkins, who is 5'9" and weighs 135 pounds, opened fire in the classroom at Timberview High School on Wednesday morning, shortly after 9 a.m., after a fight with a 15-year-old boy who has not been named. Okay, so I got some questions. I got some serious questions. Now, Mr. Simpkins is 5'9", 135 pounds. He's a stick, right? He needs to eat. He needs to get in the gym. He needs to get in the gym for multiple reasons. The main reason is because he got his ass whooped by a 15-year-old boy. Okay, this man is 18, and he got his butt whooped by a 15-year-old boy. Now, there's a video out there of him getting his butt whooped, and I'm not going to show the video, but, again, it is plainly obvious here that this man needs to hit the gym. He needs to take some boxing classes, some MMA. He needs to learn how to fight. That's what you need to learn how to do. Because, listen, I'm all for standing up to bullies. Allegedly, he was being bullied. And we're going to get a little bit more into that. But, man, you 5'9", 135 pounds, bro. Like, there's ways that you can stand up for yourself. I'm all about you standing up for yourself. But, you got to get your weight up. You got to get your weight up. A video of their fight was posted on social media by Simpkins' cousin on Wednesday night in an effort to prove that he was being bullied. It shows Simpkins, who was identified by police as wearing a light-colored hoodie in the footage, being pummeled by another boy who is 3 years his junior while holding his hands around his head. Again, yeah, that video was hard to watch, man. It was hard to watch. 15-year-old beat up an 18-year-old boy. Got it crazy. Once the fight was over, he went to his orange backpack, pulled out his gun, and started shooting. He shot the other boy 7 to 8 times, according to one student who was interviewed by the police, and also shot 25-year-old Calvin Pittet, a teacher who tried to break up the fight. Pittet was shot in the back. All right, so as you see here, this is video of him walking out, like I showed you guys at the beginning. This is a picture of the teacher. Poor teacher. He was just going to class, going to work, and didn't realize that he would be shot by one of his students. Super unfortunate, man. Super unfortunate. Both he and the 15-year-old boy remain in the hospital. Pittet is expected to survive and is in good condition, but the 15-year-old boy is in critical condition. A third victim, a teenage girl, suffered a graze wound but is no longer in the hospital. A fourth person, believed to be a pregnant teacher, was injured when she tripped over in the chaos. Simpkins was arraigned on Thursday morning via video link. He told the judge he understood the charges and that he would retain his attorney. That's interesting because Don Lemon told us that black people not supposed to be able to afford attorneys, right? We're not supposed to be able to afford it. So how the hell did this person get a attorney so quick, right? We're going to read about some things in this story that it seems like Don Lemon would say is not supposed to happen to black people, right? Just like you're not supposed to get off so easy as a black person. We have some of this stuff happening here in this story. Now, he is in the Tarrant County Correctional Center awaiting his next court date. So that's interesting. Maybe he's not actually out on the streets. Maybe he's been held at this correctional center. Who knows? Multiple teachers and coaches were working to break up the altercation between Simpkins and the juvenile victim. Once the fight was broken up, the juvenile witness observed Simpkins go to an orange backpack and retrieve a black firearm. Okay, so yeah, this is a picture of him in his nice car that we're gonna talk about in a little bit with the one of the weapons. Okay, that's the alleged weapon. We don't know if that actually was the weapon yet, but yeah, this is more pictures of him. And apparently, the teacher was trying to break up the fight, and that's how he ended up getting shot. So, Simpkins' family spoke out to defend him on Wednesday night, claiming he was a lovable boy who snapped after being bullied. That's what they all say. This is his family. This is the neighborhood they live in. Okay. And this, again, is a part of the story. But as you can tell here, you can take some people out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of them, right? So that looks kind of like what's going on here to me. Let's read a little bit more. They say the other kids picked on him because he has a nice car, a $35,000 Dodge Challenger, and wears nice clothes, like a pair of $160 off-white Nike sneakers he is pictured in on social media. Other social media posts show him sitting in the car with what looks like a black gun in the side door. Police confirmed in his arrest warrant that the gun used in the shooting was black, but they have not given any further details. It is also unclear who it belongs to, when it was purchased, and why he was able to get it into the school. The school does not use metal detectors like other high schools. Simpkins lives in a $400,000 home with his grandmother, Lily. He drives a 2018 silver Dodge Charger, and his family described him as a lovable kid. It's unclear what his parents do for work or how involved they are in his life. He was robbed. It was recorded. It happened not just once. It happened twice. He was scared. He was afraid. It could have been a decision that he could have committed suicide. He was trying to protect himself. They were blessed financially. He was able to get things that other teenagers cannot have because he wore nice clothes, because he drove nice cars. He was like a target. Carol Harrison Lafayette, another relative, told reporters outside the family's home on Wednesday night. There is no justification of anybody being hurt. We have to take a look at the fact that bullying is real and it takes us all. Okay, so that's interesting, right? Essentially, what they're saying is that, well, because he went to school and he had nice things, he was a target. And, apparently this kid, at the very least, he's living with his grandparents who seem to be very well off. He seems to have been facing issues at school because of how well off he was. Again, this is according to the family. They're going to talk a little bit more about how they went to the school to try to report the claims of bullying. Quote, and I do apologize. We ask as a family for forgiveness of any type of hurt, she went on. Sent Week, his cousin, wrote in a Facebook post, at the end of the day, my little cousin was bullied. I don't know to feel about this. He not no bad kid. She later claimed in the comment section of her post that her aunt went to the school to report the bullying, but that nothing was done. Quote, right now, they about to come up with what shoulda, coulda been done when all signs was ignored and the cries for help, she said. Timberview High School did not immediately respond to inquiries on Thursday morning about whether or not the bullying was ever reported. English teacher Pritet's sister, Grace Riddison, said the bullet narrowly missed his aorta and described the shooting as one of the scariest mornings of my life. She added in a tweet, feeling extremely blessed and thankful. Please hold your loved ones close. This is a crazy world we live in. Another victim, an adult male, is not in surgery but is in good position. A third victim, a teenage girl, was expected to be released from the hospital on Wednesday evening. So 2 will remain in the hospital, which continue to hopefully make a speedy recovery, police said. All right, so yeah, the family is claiming that they went to the school to warn about him being bullied, right? But the school chose to do nothing. Now, I don't know anything about that, but what I do know is that being bullied, for as bad of an issue it is in school, right? Being bullied is not an excuse to bring a firearm to school and to open fire and to shoot people. It's not an excuse. At the end of the day, I think that, when it comes to bullies, if the school's not going to do anything about it, if the parents of the bully is not going to do anything about it, the only choice that you really have is to stand and fight, right? To fight it out, okay? I mean, this guy's 18. There's no way he should be getting bullied by a 15-year-old. That's the weird part of the story to me, okay? The dude is 5'9", 135 pounds. He need to put on about 40, 50 pounds of some muscle and diesel up, right? Diesel up, learn how to fight, learn how to defend yourself, okay? But there is no reason why you should be shooting up a school. But at the same time, again, I don't want to try to overlook how bad bullying actually is, because, again, I get it. Some kids go to school and they get bullied all day, and it causes them to go into depression. It causes them to commit self-harm. Like, it is an issue that needs to be dealt with, right? And if this family did warn about this and the school did nothing about it, then the administrators or whoever knew about this should be held responsible for it. Okay, no doubt in my mind. School administrators should be held responsible for not doing things about bullying. Okay, when they're not taking the precautions necessary and heeding to the warnings that are being given from parents about their children being bullied, they should be disciplined for that, because bullying is a big deal. It's not something that any kid should go through going to school. But again, I live in a practical world here. You can't depend on the outside. When you're getting bullied, best thing for you to do is to essentially diesel up and, learn how to fight back, do what you got to do. But, yeah, regardless of that, in that incident, I do find it interesting how the media is not going to cover this story anymore. I guarantee you by Friday, tomorrow, Saturday, whatever, it's going to be gone. Okay, you won't hear about it anymore. Nobody will talk about it anymore. It's going to be like it never happened. And again, the reason why is because the shooter is not a white male. And it's just crazy to me how the media only cares about certain issues depending on who the race of that individual is. It's kind of crazy how that works. And these are the same people that want to talk about missing white girl syndrome and how the media only covers white women that go missing, because apparently all people care about is white women going missing. But they don't really want to talk about how the media only wants to cover mass shootings if a white male does it. How they don't want to cover shootings if a black person does it. How it's not a big deal anymore if somebody that's a non-white person commits these acts of violence. Kind of crazy how that works. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.